What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 13 of the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight. I'm, of course, Ben Boyce. I'm here on behalf of Short Pause. That's our rad website that we run, www.shortpause.com. Check us out on there, read the articles, read the reviews, all that fun stuff. We'd love to have you over there. Leave some comments while you're at it. You can follow us on Twitter at The Short Pause on there. Myself, you can find me on PSN, of course, at Piccolo930. And as always, that's where I am on Twitter, at Piccolo930 as well. So this is the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight. If you are unfamiliar with this, basically we grab a new indie game that came out during the week. We fire it up every Thursday night here at 10 p.m. Eastern. Play it for an hour or so. Give you guys a taste of what this is all about. And see if it might be your cup of tea or something you might dig. We try and shine the light on some of these games that don't always get the spotlight, so I don't know, it's usually a fun time. We are in the midst of the Sony launch party promotion this week, or this past month or so, actually, and so far these games have been stellar on here so far. I mean, we've had Salt and Sanctuary, awesome game, Day of the Tentacle, awesome game, Enter the Gungeon, awesome game. So this is the fourth one now in this series, Stories, the Path of Destinies. Sorry, my headset's messing up on here. But I don't know a whole lot about Stories. It's like an action RPG type of game. There are ways to affect the narrative, that you can get into. So, we'll have to see how that all plays out. I don't know how much control you have or how many different paths there are. I mean, you'd assume that it's in the name of the title, so there's probably a plethora of paths here that we can take our character on, who I believe is Reynaldo the Fox, which is just awesome in and of itself. So there'll be some swashbuckling, some high-octane action, some cool storytelling. I've heard some great things about the game so far, so I'm really looking forward to playing this game tonight. It's made by the fine people at Spearhead Games. So if you're not following them on Twitter, you probably should. It's Spearhead MTL on Twitter, at Spearhead MTL, and follow the official Stories Twitter feed while you're at it. It's Stories TPOD, the Path of Destinies that stands for, of course. Stories TPOD. That's at Stories TPOD on Twitter to follow the official Stories thread. You should probably be listening to our podcast too if you're not. We're on iTunes, we're on SoundCloud, we're on TuneIn Radio, Short Pause Gaming Podcast. We've talked about Stories on there before. We talk about a plethora of games. Every Tuesday it comes out. So if you're not listening to us, you probably should be. So we'll get going here, kind of see what this game's all about. If my headset keeps messing up on me here, I may need to fix that momentarily. But so far so good right now. So we're going to get this fired up and see what Stories is all about here. Just go over the options here briefly. Okay, looks good.
Once upon a time, the infamous rover Reynardo plundered the floating isles. Then his mother called him to her deathbed. "Swear to me that you won't die on the gallows," she rasped. Reluctantly, he swore. And he whiled away his days at home with music, cards, and wine. But the Emperor had changed. He'd been good once, a shy, almost humble toad. He'd built universities. Then people started whispering about mass graves in the woods, midnight rituals, victims screaming. The Imperial Ravens would round up entire villages, and no one ever returned. The Ravens had come to Ubar scouting for ancient books said to be of great power. But the librarians had hidden the books, so they'd burnt the librarians. The citizens, outraged, had driven them off. The Ravens had come back with dropships. The kid had fled with one of those books. He was brave and dumb and wanted to join the rebellion. And Reynardo had promised his mother he'd protect him.
Very cool storybook stuff there. I like the narrator. I always love some good anthropomorphic characters. As we eagerly anticipate this game loading up here.
The kid was looking down, watching his city burn. Sorry, kid, Reynardo told the kid. Look, if we give them the book, they'll leave you alone. My mother died for this book! I promised her I'd protect you. Oh, damn it. The kid had run off. With the book, of course. So Reynardo had to run after him.
Alright, we are in control of Reynardo now. Current objective, protect Peter. See if we get an idea for what we can do here. Okay. Square is my attack. All I got so far. Okay. Alright, before I get any further here, I'm gonna take 1 second here and fix my headset real quick. Be right back. Okay, yes. Sorry about that. You can hear what's going on again. Alright. Okay, let's get down to business here.
The two ravens were staring at the kid like he was their dinner, which probably was what was in their tiny brains. Hey, Reynardo said. They cocked their heads at him. Pick on someone as ugly as you. Wait, that didn't come out right. For the Emperor! The ravens cawed and rushed at him.
Countering. Okay, so learn a little bit about the depth of the combat system here. Okay, it's kind of like Batman. They'll get the little thing up above their head there. Nice. Very colorful looking game.
A dropship flew overhead. He hoped they hadn't noticed him. The kid.
Yeah, you know, Brent, I've heard some good stuff about the combat in this game. That it's really fun. Also, man, just a busy time of the year with all these games that are coming out. You mentioned Ratchet and Clank, Dark Souls 3, some of the big ones that have come out this week. And a lot of times some of these other games slip through the cracks, but stuff like Enter the Gungeon, stuff like hopefully Stories will turn out to be like there's these great games that are hiding out there if you just take the time to give them a whirl. Risk of Rain is one of those games as well. So oftentimes these are even more gripping than the big titles out there. So it's one of the reasons we do the indie spotlight every week. It's a lot of fun to check these games out. Let's see what this is all about. Hold square to grab, aim, and throw. Got it. Just gonna throw him off the cliff. And him. I like it.
Oh, right. The Gate of Heroes. Someone's idea of a joke, making the Skyship Docks a gated community. You needed a hero's sword to open it. And the kid was on the other side of the gate. Who let you through? Promise me you'll take the book to the rebels, or I'm gonna steal your ship. I'm not taking that damn book anywhere, and neither are you. Try and stop me, laughed the kid. I bet you don't even have a hero sword. And with that, the kid hopped away. Had to hand it to the kid. He was an idiot, but he had guts. Where was Reynardo going to get a hero sword?
Good question. Let's see, there's a treasure chest down here.
Ore and wind essence? That sounds about right. I'll need a workshop, though.
Ore and wind essence. I guess that little cart might be a workshop right there.
Perfect.
Next level, look badass.
A hero sword. QED.
Level 1 looks badass. Level 2 also allows to heal oneself. You need 30 ore for that. Cool. Okay, so there's obviously a crafting system in this game as well for swords, and not sure what gems do yet. I'm sure we'll find out shortly here. Alright, Reynardo, let's get through that gate now. This is what you got
for settling down and finding people to care about. The kid's mum had been a swell cook, and she'd laughed at Reynardo's jokes, even when he didn't know he'd made one. And then the ravens had come to burn her. And she'd made him promise to protect the kid. But she never told him where the book was. Just the kid. He came up to a ledge. It was too far to jump. There'd been a bridge here before, hadn't there? And there was Peter, giggling at him. "How'd you get across?" he asked the kid. "Where'd you find a hook?" "I hopped," said the kid. Wise-ass kid. "Hey, look out behind you!" "Q," said Reynardo. Oh, ravens.
These guys again. My counter game up here.
It was time to talk some sense into the kid. Just hook his way across the ledge and chase the kid down. Thing was, he hadn't used his hook since he'd retired. He'd done it. Maybe if he meditated at that altar there, he'd remember his old skills.
My health is running low up in the corner there. Yeah, I don't believe this game's running at 60 frames. It looks like it's probably a 30 frame game. Has this kind of yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It's moving smoothly, but it almost has this kind of blur about it as well. It's difficult to explain. It's a lovely game though. Alright, we have a skill tree here as well. That's one of the other things about stories, is it has RPG elements as well to it, obviously. So you've got the hack and slash real-time battling, you've got the narrative paths you'll be able to take, the kind of branching storylines, and then you also have this, these more in-depth RPG elements as well. So there's more to it than just hacking through ravens. Just ran by the hook shot skill. Gives me something to do on my triangle button.
Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
So I have a stamina bar as well. Cool. I like it. Always nice to have a hook shot. Anything that reminds you of a Link to the Past. Not a bad thing.
And there was the Farfarer. She was the fastest ship he'd ever known. She could do the Kessel run in 12 furlongs. Oh, so the salesman told him. And something told him the kid was about to walk into an ambush. "Stop!" he shouted. "I'm not giving you the book!" shouted the kid, and took off. "No! Peter!" But the kid ran for it, and a goblin nailed him with its eye.
Oh no. Damn you, goblin. It's a nice Star Wars nod there to the Millennium Falcon making the Kessel run in 12 parsecs. Always down for a good Star Wars reference. Oh. Cut him up real good. Let's get over here and see if we can save Peter. What's going on with him?
The book was unburned. Next to it were the buckles from the kid's shoes.
Oh, jeez.
And a kid-sized pile of ashes. Damn it. Why hadn't he lied and told the kid he'd take the book to the rebels? The kid would be alive now. Really pissed off and betrayed, but alive. Oh, damn it. Bernardo picked up the book. He couldn't let the Empire have it now. He was going to have to get it out of there. He'd be a wanted man. Probably have to join the rebellion just to have a place to dock. Well, he'd hated home life anyway.
Oh, good. Oh, you can break these open? I wonder how many of these I've missed laying around here. I definitely need some health. There we go. Man, poor rabbit kid just got torched. Story's not taking it easy. It's one of the cool things I've noticed here too is the kind of there's a mature feel to it.
Find out.
Even though, you know, these are animal characters.
How many? The war was a blur, and now 3 Raven scout ships were chasing him. Where are you running, rebel? Cawed the Raven captain over the loud hailer. Bernardo could see them cranking up their catapults. Just going out for milk? Bernardo yelled back. Where can you run? Laughed the Raven horribly. Far behind him, another city was burning. The dark cloud above its island was thousands of Imperial ships. The fleet was doing a thorough job. Take us to the rebel base! I will spare your life! It cawed. The entire jury-rigged rebel fleet was only a few islands to the east. Beyond that were only the pillars of heaven. A sea of endless blood-colored tornadoes. The rebellion was out of time. Unless Bernardo could bring a game-changer. Maybe he could. Bernardo had found out where he could find the pieces of the Sky Ripper. The legendary weapon that had exiled the lost gods. Surely a legendary weapon could win the final battle. On the other hand, his old friend Lapino had sent Bernardo a desperate message saying he had a brilliant scheme to save the rebellion. If Bernardo could only rescue him. Bernardo dived the Farfarer towards the abyss. As he felt the heat of the jet stream, the Raven ships peeled off, not stable enough to follow him down there. Now it was time to choose. Lapino or the Sky Ripper.
You can't make new old friends. Now, as badass as a sword called the Sky Ripper, who defeated the Lost God sounds, I feel like I'm gonna have to go save my buddy Lapino, because, you know, first of all, he's my friend, plus he could be a game changer in this warrior, so, I think we're gonna have to try and save Lapino. But obviously this is our first, shot we get of the branching narrative and the branching story paths, so we'll see where this takes us with Lapino. And, yeah, the narrator, Brent, is actually really good in this game. He's, so far, he got a great kind of story-reading voice. Fits in very well with the style of this game. So some very cool lore that's going into the story so far. So I'm definitely enjoying that part of it. Let's see if we can save our man, Lapino.
Ah, Lapino. Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble, given time. But he was out of time. The Ravens had figured out that Lapino was a rebel spy. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse.
Yeah, so some very cool characters here. Um, the writing is excellent so far. Love the storybook aspect to this game.
Lapino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen the winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the ravens? Renado's blood was up. He just needed to smash something.
Let's go do some smashing, Reynardo. Get some ore. We'll hopefully be able to build our way up to the next sword. Which we need 30 ore for us. We're not even close yet. It's unclear right now that if the branching story paths you don't take come up later, or
in the way of safety features, did it?
If you just have to try them on the next go around.
People were frightened these days. Just 2 weeks past, Reynardo had sneaked through an empty town and listened to the ravens caw about the Emperor's new taste in ritual sacrifice.
Let's just do something here. Doesn't look like it.
Firewalls only let you through if they think you're hot enough.
Need some type of a fire sword for that. Can't get through there either. Back to the altar. I have no skill points. Okay. See, I can go through there, or it's over this way. Oh, there's a chest here. Yeah, we need that. Try this hook shot out. That was the Batman player in me hitting triangle when I saw the little when I saw the counter thing come up. Have to stop doing that. Yes, we will restart from the checkpoint. Yeah, the combat is more difficult than it looks right now. Reynardo is a bit slow in terms of his initial sword strikes, so you kind of have to get into the combo when you're surrounded by a multitude of enemies. You have to be careful with how you attack these guys here. I'm not sure if you can see on the stream here, but there are some hitches in the frame rate here on the obviously on the PS4 version. Not sure how the PC version fares in that regard. Nothing that appears to severely affect the game, though.
The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lapino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Where had the mad rabbit got to? Bernardo felt a little better.
You know, Brent, I honestly don't remember. I pre-ordered it a few weeks back, and I want to say it was $14.99, but do not quote me on that. I believe it was $14.99 though.
Bernardo felt like he was ready to learn new things. Thank goodness he didn't have to go to school for that.
Alright, let's get this dash move.
It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot. Like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Alright, we have our dash ability now. Very cool. It's telling me that this affects my stamina gauge, which I don't see anywhere on here. Because, once again, I don't have the right screen on here. Why this keeps doing this in my games? But I keep losing screen real estate on when I play games here, and I don't know why. So my stamina bar is at the bottom of the screen there. I can see it on the stream, but I can't see it on my TV right now. Attaboy, Reynardo. Yeah, you can see at times the frame rate is struggling on the game here, which is a shame. As you know, as we've talked about, this is a beautiful game. So you know, whether this is an issue with the PlayStation 4 version or just something with the game that needs to be patched, I'm not entirely sure right now. But combat is very fun. I only have a couple of abilities right now, so I can just imagine as you move your way down that skill tree, keep getting more and more abilities, that the game's just gonna get more and more fun. But, I hope they can do something with this frame rate on the PlayStation 4 version.
A flea.
You know, and you know, we've talked about this on our podcast. You know, a lot over the last few weeks with the rumors of like a PlayStation 4.5 and you know the merits of it and what it would mean and all this kind of stuff. And you know, when I play games like these that or like Broforce is a good example as well, a game that you just want to sit down play, you just want it to run really good. You know, even now with some of these games, even some of these indie titles, and I don't like really making the distinction between indie and AAA titles because you know a lot of these games we can see clearly stories has a lot that goes into it. There's are some very high production values in this game. But when a game is struggling to run properly in the way it's meant to be ran, you know, it really makes you think about you know, how useful increased performance could be as a result of something like the PlayStation 4.5. looks like a door. I can't get in over here. Yeah.
Once, he'd found a Superman issue #1 in mint condition in a jar he'd broken. He planned to keep breaking things until he had the whole series.
We see a reference to Superman there. We've seen a nod to Star Wars as well. So some very cool pop culture references, geek references that'll get my blood flowing for sure. Alright, Ravens. I'm working on my counter move there. Stop hitting triangle.
Renato wondered if he could learn to cook this way. Probably not.
Alright, I leveled up some. Hit up this altar here. Combo. Attack immediately when the previous strike hits to land a perfect strike. Bonus damage and double combo bonus. I like it. That'll add another nuance and strategic element to the combat. So, yeah, combat is super fun though. Lots of. It feels good when you're kind of hitting on all cylinders. Obviously, I'm still learning, but a few of the battles I've hopped into here, I've been able to get into kind of a groove, and it feels good. We've noticed several gates as well that we can't get into yet, so you know, I wonder if that's another aspect of this game in terms of the paths that you can go down. But let's talk to Lupino here.
Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lupino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lupino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The Ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, we see this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows. And that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, oh, his only daughter. That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
So once again, we have a story path here, and you know, as I was wondering, we have the opportunity to at least partially pursue the Sky Ripper once again. Contemplate and read about these here real quick one more time. You know, we've already gone down this path with Lupino, so let's go after Zenobia.
Zenobia wasn't just the Emperor's daughter, of course. She'd been Renato's best friend in Sword Fu school. And you're still mad for her. The rabbit reminded him. They'd been close. She'd told him things no one else knew. But she'd never told him who she really was. She knows all the Emperor's plans, chuckled the master spy. She won't give them up easily. She'll tell the interrogators, all right, said Lupino. Taking her would change the game, all right.
Very cool story, very, very cool character so far. I'm loving that aspect of the game. It almost makes you wonder what this would be like as, I don't know, like a full-fledged animated film, or you know, a Pixar movie or something like Zootopia. Or they got a lot of cool things going on in this storybook universe. I love it.
The city was already under Zenobia's control. I had to admire her efficiency. Renato shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Could he really turn her over to them? But this was war. It wasn't meant to be pretty.
Meant to check over there first. Hopefully I didn't miss a treasure chest or anything. been going on down here.
Hero wall. Hero sword. Wall. Human.
Got him. Man, I need to use some of these sword upgrades so I can get in some of these gates. Oh, there's one of those goblins that melted Peter earlier. Stay out of his eyeball.
Well, the eyes have had it.
That takes me up to 17. 13 away from my next sword upgrade. Uh-oh. Hopefully this guy doesn't turn this way. Attaboy, Reynardo. Ooh. Sneaky little buggers coming down this way.
Huh? A lever? That was new. Most people still use doorknobs.
Got him. Alright. Make our way down here.
So, what's this plan of yours? Use me as bait, said Lupino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lupino dressing as an old blind toad, and Reynardo hiding inside a monstrous watermelon. What could possibly go wrong? Thought Reynardo.
I don't know about you, but Lupino's plan sounds awesome. So I'd love to see this.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, said Lupino as he ran to go set up his marvelous plan.
What's this Lupino getting us into here?
If I craft a sword now, it's gonna be really short.
I don't have enough to craft a sword right now. No skill points yet. No. Ravens. Darn. Ah. Attaboy, Reynardo. So you see there, I kind of almost got into a rhythm with the combat, and when you find that rhythm and everything just kind of chains together, it not only looks really cool, but it's really fun to pull off. That was always one of the great things about the Batman combat system. You know, you get into that kind of almost ballet of brutality, and everything just strings together, and it's just really awesome to watch and pull off.
Reynardo felt dubious about the whole plan. With every step, he was waiting for it all to go horribly wrong. But against all odds, Lupino's idiotic plan worked. Zenobia's ravens ran off after the geese, the net dropped, and Reynardo jumped out of the watermelon and put his sword to Zenobia's throat. Reynardo, she said, are those new scars? They look good on you. You never returned my velvet jacket. It was my favorite. You look stupid in velvet. Oh, what does an imperial princess know about style? Oh, get a room, you two, said Latino. But the fleet was coming on fast, so they put Zenobia on the Farfarer and took her east, over the Nexus. She'd vanished from Swordfu School, from his life, without even saying goodbye, without ever telling him she was the Emperor's adopted daughter. Ah, Lapina was right, Reynardo thought reluctantly. She knows things. She recognized his look. You're taking me to the interrogators, aren't you? She said, wide-eyed. And then she jumped, with horror. Reynardo saw Zenobia plummeting. Then he saw the Nexus below them. Cats always land at their feet. Ah, she'll head for the Imperial outpost, yelled Lapino. You have to catch her.
See if we can catch Zenobia now.
Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer. If he ran, he could head her off before she reached her minions at the outpost. Well, he did love a good chase.
Nope. Did it again.
There was an inscription. No spitting.
Need those. And that. Maybe back up to 100.
When Reynardo went to the china shop, for some reason the owner was always nervous.
Good old Reynardo, like a bull in a china shop. Let's see, do I hook shot my way over there, or do I run up these stairs momentarily? Let's see. We should probably check down this way first.
Who needed bridges anyway?
More ore. Man, all this health. Hopefully I don't need this in the future. Oh, a new enemy. What is this thing? Warlock's fire spell. Yeesh. Okay. Missing my counters. Ugh. Alright. Leveled up again. We're gonna need some health after that battle. Yeesh. Where is this?
He was closing on her. He could smell her fear. He tried not to think about the interrogators at the secret base. What did they do to her? Maybe it didn't have to end that way. Maybe he could talk to her. But, after all, there were worse things the Imperials had done to friends of his.
So levels obviously are non-linear as well. Lots of different paths you can take throughout the levels themselves. So not just from a narrative perspective, but on the actual moment-to-moment gameplay, you can kind of choose your own path as well, which is cool. I have this gems thing now. What can I do with these? Okay, so these gems I have to find. Okay. 27 out of 30. Need some more ore before I can make that. Maybe in that chest over there? I can get over there? Yeah, company. Like how Reynardo carries his sword along the ground there. A little spark that trails him around. Very cool. Got him.
Reynardo reached the outpost. The Imperials there were no match for him. Soon after, Zenobia limped up the path. When she realized he was already in front of her, she didn't even try to run. Oh, you left without saying goodbye. Again, he said, "Please, I'm enjoying this a little too much," she said, shaken. "Oh, spare us the chit-chat, would you?" said Lapino as he shackled her hands so she couldn't throw spells. She knows all his plans. All the way back to the Farfarer, Lapino nagged Reynardo about how the interrogators would pry all the intel out of Zenobia. How that would turn the tides in the imminent battle. All they had to do was take her to the rebel secret base. Reynardo didn't like to think about what the interrogators would do to her. Couldn't he just talk to her?
I feel like Reynardo still has some innate feelings for Zenobia. Let's do the less cruel thing to her.
Away from the Nexus, Reynardo could see the fear in Zenobia's eyes. I can't take her to those creatures at the base. He whispered to Lapino. Ah, you've gone soft. Soft in the head. We captured her for what she knows. I'll take her to the mountains. Tell all the horrible things the Emperor's done. Yeah, believe me. She'll turn. And he turned the wheel. The hell you will! Shouted Lapino, and he grabbed the wheel back from him. The two of them wrestled for control of the ship. It shot off like a mad sparrow. Suddenly, Reynardo was falling. When he came to, Zenobia was standing over him. Why didn't you take me to the base to be interrogated? She demanded. Do you know what's left of people they interrogate? This is some trick, isn't it? To make me fall for you again. Well, I won't. Oh, go on then. Scurry back to your ravens. I can't stop you. But strangely, she didn't. As Reynardo set off to find the Farfarer, she followed him, keeping just out of sight of the ravens. Not quite enough, thought Reynardo.
Sure which way I should go. Well, guess it answers that. Can't turn back now. Oh. Battle time.
Who made all these ore chests anyway? Well, you could have quite a business doing that.
I agree. Let's see what awaits us up here. I thought, Zenobia was supposed to be following me. Guess not. We just kind of left her in the dust back there. All these platforms. Which way to go? Huh. There's two doors I can go through down there. There's another path over here. Oh. Oh, double attack there.
It was a bit windy up here.
First time I noticed a actual combo meter on there.
Stopped to sniff the wind. Zenobia came up, still mad.
Well, I guess she was following us.
Really think you'd just talk me into betraying my father? Oh yeah, sure. That was exactly my plan. Then why aren't you even talking to me? Because I've never talked you into anything in my life. They're gonna court-martial you for letting me go. He caught a whiff of the Farfarer. Wet rope, tar, and a cask of Scobel ale he'd spilt last year. It was that way.
Reynardo says, I want my ship, and I want it back now. I swear. Cool, some snow effects. Yeah, the frame rate is not detrimental to the experience so far. I mean, there's been a few hitches during combat, a few hitches here and there, but it's still been a fun experience so far.
Renato wondered if he should have taken Zenobia to the rebel base for real. Maybe she wasn't playing him after all. After the bleak talk about the Emperor's dark secrets, he was regretting his suspicions.
That dash appears to have attack properties. Interesting.
He was sort of yanking his own chain, wasn't he?
There she is.
Sure enough, the Farfarer had crashed in some rocks. There was no sign of Lupino. Zenobia caught up. All that kid stuff in Swordfu school. Look, that's the past. We're adults now. We have duties to other people. We have destinies. What are you talking about? And you are the most arrogant, slow-witted, light-fingered, mercenary, immoral, reckless. Run away with me, said Renato, and he realized he meant it. Just like that, she demanded. I will, if you will. So she kissed him. And it was the best kiss he'd ever had. They held hands as they boarded the Farfarer. Renato felt light-hearted, like the winds that were playing the rigging like a balalaika. But Lupino, I need to get back to Lupino, he said, suddenly realizing he could have been captured. A prisoner. He's not. How'd you know? He saw something in her eyes he didn't understand. He fell, didn't he? Into the abyss. She looked away. Wouldn't answer. But then a bolt smashed through the Farfarer's keel. The broken ship plummeted out of the clouds. Renato picked himself off the deck. They were alive. We have to get to my private ship, she said. Do you trust me? I guess I must, he said. You go on ahead. Clear the path, she said. I can't kill my own soldiers. He wanted to say that he didn't trust her, that he had no idea what he was getting into. But he had no choice, did he? He was following his heart. That's what it means to be a hero. You had to follow your heart.
That's how you get in trouble. Following the old heart. Man, I am one piece of ore away. Upgrading my sword here. Oh, still can't get in there. Guess we'll have to shack up on the teleporter pad here. Alright, Alter. Ooh, we got 2 skill points available. Time. Slow down time after a successful counter until your next action. Take a breather and plan your next move. I like it.
He'd missed his old skills. He welcomed them back like he was at a reunion.
Counter an attack now causes damage. Yes. Very nice. Alright, Reynardo. Let's continue on here, bud. Ooh, a chest.
I wonder what I could make with all these sword crafting materials, thought Reynardo.
Is that workbench over here, or... Can't even remember now. No teleporting back. So let's have to wait till we come across another workbench. These guys. Man. Wow. Yeah, just waxed the floor with me there. Let's try that again. This guy's hurt.
Where did that go to?
Yeah. These guys are tough here. Okay, I'm only coming back to life with half of my health. I keep that in mind. Play this more strategic here. Man, I have to stop hitting triangle to counter.
Hey, wanna hook up?
Man. Escalated very quickly. Just getting shellacked here in this fight. Alright. Come on, Reynardo. We got this. Yeah. Missed another counter. Got the double counter there. Nice. Damn. Attaboy, Reynardo. There we go. This big thing here.
Well, they really needed to redecorate anyway.
I agree. Get some health back here. There we go. Okay. Let's hop on here now.
What were these poles exactly? Parking meters from the time of the lost gods?
Making our way around here. Man, when you have to counter two guys at the same time, I'm not sure how to do that.
The way they could hurt you and you couldn't hurt them back.
Maybe it's an upgrade I gotta unlock. Combat is definitely tougher than it looks in this game. Jeez, what the hell was that? Yeah, you don't spawn back with much of your health here. Slow motion thing. I started using that. I tend to do that in these games. I unlock new abilities, I forget about them, I never even use them, and I should probably start doing that in this one. Make our way over. Oh, shot at here. Philip.
They paused to catch their breath. It was strange to be so close to her. What are you thinking? He asked. I'm trying very hard not to think. Me too, he said. Up ahead, he could see the thin silver of Zenobia's personal ship. It looked fast. They would leave all this behind.
Get a chest here. I have enough ore to upgrade my sword now. Man, I need some of this health. Alright, Zenobia, where do we go from here? Should be something I can... There we go. There's a lot that goes on during the combat, a lot of effects, a lot of things you can do. You've got the snow falling, lots of different particles on the screen, and you know, as the game stands right now, the PS4 just can't handle it. At least the way it's optimized currently.
What did you do if one of these platforms stalled?
Keep moving. Ray. Oh. Cannon fire there. Trying to make it over to Zenobia's ship. Shield grunts will block your attacks. Grab and throw another grunt into him and his shield will be knocked away. Got it. Ray.
As they reached her ship, Renato suddenly felt a sharp pain in his stomach. He was surprised to see a crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
I was going to lead the Empire to a secret base, said Lapino. But no, you had to screw up my plan because you still got a thing for her.
Renato stared at Zenobia. The kiss. Was it real? She said, with a look of indescribable sorrow. She gestured and said an arcane word, and Lapino went flying into the abyss, screaming, "I'm telling your father!" Then she knelt down to cradle his head, and her paws felt very soft and warm.
Lapino, you bastard.
That was weird. He could have sworn he just died. Instead, he was on the Farfarer, sailing away from Ubar. And it was still burning. He'd fled burning Ubar years ago, hadn't he? And now he was back there. Had all those years fighting the Empire been nothing but a vision into the future? A useful vision if it was true. He'd learned something. Lapino was a traitor. Renato had suspected there was something wrong with the Mad Rabbit. But now he knew there was malice behind his goofiness.
That Lapino. Okay, well, it appears I've completed one of the paths that we can take here in this game. Story number 5, Don't Think Twice. What kind of hero are you? A hero who always follows his heart. It's very true. New truth revealed Lapino is a traitor. Ooh. I've unlocked tier 2 skills now. A new location. Huh. Wow, so there are 24 stories on here. 3 more truths I can unlock before this big lock. Huh. Okay. So, tons of different variants here.
He'd made bad choices. But now, when the real battle came, he wouldn't make those choices. He wouldn't make the same mistake twice. The book's pages began to flip backwards, towards the beginning. And he realized that his adventure was just beginning. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Skyripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis Stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Reynardo. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Reynardo had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Reynardo really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
So as we've completed one of our stories here, we've been taken back to what appears to be our first junction point in the game, or our first kind of part where the narrative splits off, and we now have three options here. We can go after Lapino, go after the Skyripper, or there's this new temple, which is probably the new location that we unlocked at the completion of the game. So I'd imagine the more and more you go through the game, the more things you unlock, and the more you're able to get into some different story elements. So we're going to stop there for now, though. We've played through one whole story, and stories The Path of Destinies here. And this is a very cool game. It's a beautiful game. It's very well written. I love the storybook aspect to this game. The characters are very cool. The lore, just the whole world that they've created here is very interesting. I'd love to see this as like an animated movie, or even like a full-fledged just epic narrative, something along the lines of like a Ratchet and Clank or something. But it's kind of cool too how this game has a mature theme to it as well. You know, we've got traitorous rabbits and long lost loves with cats and all kinds of cool stuff going on here. So I've had fun with the game so far. I definitely want to try and connect some of the other narrative threads and see where else you can take the story in this game. The one bummer, as we've talked about throughout the stream here, on the PlayStation 4 version appears to be the frame rate. Not always consistent. It does hitch up during the battles, which can get intense. It hitches up kind of randomly as you're walking around the world as well. Hopefully that's something they can address in the future. Maybe patch it out of the game. Not sure how much they can patch it out. But it's a bummer in a game that looks this good and with combat that needs to be fluid, a la Batman. You'd like to see that frame rate be stable. So hopefully they can work on that. Not sure how the PC version fares in that regard. I'll see if I can look that up at some point. But frame rate issues aside, it's still a fun game. It's not a deal breaker by any means. If the game looks fun, you're still gonna have fun with it. If if it looked fun on the stream here. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight. Once again, I'm Ben Boyce. You can find me on Twitter at Piccolo930. I'm on PSN at Piccolo930. Visit our website, www.shortpause.com, at The Short Pause on Twitter. Once again, at Spearhead MTL and at Stories TPOD on Twitter. You can find the developer in the official Stories thread. Maybe tweet at him, ask him what's going on with the frame rate on the PS4 version, and if we can hope to see a fix on that. But very cool game, very fun game, enjoying my time with it. I love the design of it, so I'm looking forward to playing more of it. Make sure you watch the Indie Spotlight every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll hop on here, play a new indie game for a while, check it out, and you can see if it's something that you might be interested in. Next week we'll have the next game in the launch party promotion, which I believe is Clay's Invisible Ink, which I am totally excited to play because that game looks awesome. Felsing, you're gonna love that one. So looking forward to playing that one next week. And that's gonna do it for this week's show. So we'll see you guys next Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you on the website. We'll see you in the comments. Check out our latest episode of the podcast. We'll have a new one going up next Tuesday. The latest one just came out a few days ago. Short Pause Gaming Podcast on iTunes. So check out Stories, The Path of Destinies, and the rest of the launch party games while you're at it. And thanks for tuning in to the stream this evening. See you guys later.